Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Brookhaven. It's a sunny night here at Oglethorpe University as the Brookhaven Bucks prepare to face off against the Atlanta Blues for the first time this season. Again, the Bucks enter this game 0-6, still in search of their first win. The Blues have won one game. They're 1-5, so two teams battling it out here on a beautiful Friday night. Again, it's a bit hot out here today. But, again, characteristic of Atlanta summers, you get humid weather, and I'm cool with that. Means it's time for baseball in the Sun Belt. Take a look at our starting pitcher today here out for the Bucks. That's going to be Luke Manry, a sophomore at Piedmont College from Marietta, Georgia. Also spent some time in the outfield. Went to Lassiter High School and played for a familiar program around here, the 643 Cougars. And you look at his high school career, Defensive Player of the Year in 2023, and also made the All-Defensive team. Huge Braves fan as well, and says he loves a good day at the beach. So the right-hander stands out there at 6 feet tall and will get the start for the Bucks, again, as they look for their first win of the season. So it looks like we're going to get started right about on time here, as the clock still sitting at 6:34 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, as the sun beams down on Oglethorpe. And the final warm-up pitch has been thrown, which means it's time for baseball. More importantly, Friday night baseball in the Sun Belt. Again, the Blues, you look at their schedule, playing on each of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights, and then coming out for the Saturday game as well. So we'll be back at Georgia State Complex tomorrow night. But for now, the first pitch delivered and is in for strike one. So Trey Butler, the Blues center fielder, in the leadoff spot. And now it looks like it will be a 1-ball, no strike count, I believe. Again, you experience the discussion between players and umpires. Now it's going to be 2 balls and a strike. So 2-1 here, the count to Trey Butler. Again, from Chicago, Illinois. He's a center fielder. Went to Kell High School and now pokes one on the ground over to third base. That's scooped up by Cooper Williams. And the throw took the first baseman off the bag. So Butler reaches. I believe that'll go in the books as an E5. But the first base runner reaches for Atlanta. Here's the shortstop, Vernon Clay. Clay's been having himself a nice season at the plate so far. Has earned himself a couple of consecutive starts here, hitting .583 with 12 at-bats. Has turned those into 7 hits. 6 singles and 1 double so far on the season for Vernon Clay. And the 1-0 pitch catches the zone. It was an off-speed pitch. Count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike as Butler takes his lead off of first base. His brother DJ in the on-deck circle, getting the start at second base tonight for Atlanta. Now Clay squares to bunt, puts a good one down the third baseline, but this time they're going to let it roll foul as Williams picks it up about 3 inches from the foul line. Ball and 2 strikes here to the shortstop. The runner Butler still at first. Reached on the E5, and now the 1-2 pitch here on the way from Manry. And they'll check Butler at first base. Again, thank you for joining us here from Brookhaven. Happy to be with you. I'm Jacob Seaver once again. It's a sunny day here. Audio only on the stream tonight, but you can catch our action tomorrow night from Georgia State Baseball Complex as the 1-2 pitch is down in the dirt. Manry so far on the season, making his second start in here in his third appearance. So far has gone a combined 4 innings. Runner on the move. Line foul by Vernon Clay down the left field line. Count remains 2-2, and Trey Butler will take the long run back over to first base. He's got to be getting a little bit tired out there. Went to second on the bunt that was called foul, and now stealing a base and gets sent back on yet another foul ball from Vernon Clay. Popped him up. Looks like it's going to sail out of play. Count remains 2-2 strikes. Still nobody out here in the top of the first inning. So for the Blues, it'll go DJ Butler and then Dwight Allen, the second, the extra hitter. Allen saw his first action out in Alpharetta. So no pitch as the pitcher Manry threw a pitch, but nobody was ready for it. So 2-2 once again here to Vernon Clay. Line drive into left field. Coming on is the left fielder. That's Caden Long who makes the grab. And there's one away here for Manry. I'd say after all that, the best part about it is you still keep Trey Butler at first base. But now you got to get through the left-handed hitting DJ Butler. I should say the switch hitter. I've seen him from both sides of the plate this season. Steps up from the left side against the righty Manry. This time Trey's on the move. Here's a base hit into right field as it gets over the head of the second baseman, Tyler Bayer. So a single by DJ Butler, but unfortunately for the Blues, Butler has to stop at second base. So they get the fly out of Vernon Clay, and then DJ Butler able to work off a single. Moves up Trey to second. And there's one away here in the top of the first. Here's Dwight Allen the second. Allen stepped up to the plate on 3 separate occasions in his first action of the season. Again, that was back on Monday at Legion Field. Allen with a single in his first at bat and then on base twice more with 2 walks. So 0-1 here to Dwight Allen. Runner at second is Trey Butler with his brother DJ standing at first. Here's one on the ground. It's going to get through for a base hit. The shortstop was covering the bag. Trey Butler's going to round and score as the throw comes to the cutoff man, and it's 1-0 Atlanta. So an RBI single off the bat of Dwight Allen brings home Trey Butler, and Atlanta has the early lead. How about that for taking advantage of the opportunity? The shortstop, Ty Petrovich, was, or is that Joe Cable at shortstop? No, that would be Petrovich. So Petrovich, the shortstop, was covering the bag. And then the base hit in the perfect spot off the bat. That time it was Dwight Allen again. We were just talking about his offense on Monday night. And he comes up with a Friday night RBI. 0-1 is on the ground, and it eats up the first baseman. Rounding and coming in to score is DJ Butler, so 2 Atlanta runs. Both what are going to be looking like unearned runs here. As Trey Butler reached on the air, came across to score, and now DJ Butler scores on what will likely be ruled an error. That was the first baseman. For Brookhaven, committing that error, and there's 2 runs on for Atlanta. Who is the first baseman? What is his name? Is it Tyler Bayer? So sorry about the confusion. So Cam Taylor reaches base. Only one out here, and now Jacoby Brooks will be on to run, the outfielder for Atlanta. He'll take the spot of Dwight Allen at second base. So Brooks, the runner at second base. There's one away here in the top of the first, and the Blues have plated two so far in the frame. Now here's Miles Bowens, another bat that's been heating up a bit for Atlanta. Homered on Monday night. And now the pitcher turns. Manry sails it into center field, but neither runner able to advance. Taylor stays put at first, and Dwight Allen, or excuse me, that's Brooks now at second base, will retreat back to the bag. So one out here in the top of the first as Manry will prepare to throw his first pitch here to Miles Bowens. One ball, no strikes as the first pitch misses the zone. Bowens so far 238 on the season, but again did have that home run on Monday night. And a home run against Blythe Kessler. That's a pretty impressive home run. 1-0's down in the dirt, so Bowens goes ahead here early. Bowens has had more at-bats this season so far than any other player on this Atlanta Blues lineup, and that's by far. He started and played through each and every contest. He is in his second year with the team. Here's one off the end of the bat. That's shallow left field. On is Caden Long, makes the catch. 2 outs for Brookhaven. So 2 away, and that means Sam Bradley, the right fielder, will step up. Spends most of his time defensively for Atlanta at first base, but comes in here as the right fielder to get the start on a Friday night. Manry delivers a fastball down and in. It's going to be 1 ball and no strikes as once again another Atlanta hitter able to get ahead in the count. Both outs so far in the inning, coming on flyouts to left field. That was off the bat of Vernon Clay and then Miles Bowens. Jacoby Brooks took over as the base runner at second, and Bradley takes a hack at the 1-0 pitch. That'll be 1 ball, 1 strike. Bradley so far, .250 average on the season. 3 hits in his 12 at-bats so far. Now he fouls one off the leg. Count will be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, Manry still searching for his first strikeout. Manry so far with 4 of those in the 4 innings he's pitched this season for Brookhaven. 1-2 pitch on the way to Sam Bradley. And it's down in the dirt. Brooks going to move up to third. He slides in safely. No throw from the catcher. So Owen decides to eat it. It bounced off his shin guard. He kept it in front of him. But both base runners advance into scoring position. And now Bradley's got a 2-2 count. And already, again, Atlanta has plated 2 runs in the inning and is going to send Javon Ray out to pitch in the bottom of the first. Here's one out to shallow left. That's trouble. That's going to get down. 1 run scores. It's Brooks. Here comes Cam Taylor. He slides, and the throw is a good one. But they're going to say Taylor got the foot in, and it's 4-0 Blues. A beautiful play and a beautiful relay by Brookhaven, but a call safe at home as Taylor supposedly gets in just ahead of the tag. It's 4-0 Blues. That's RBIs number 3 and 4 for Bradley on the season. His first 2 since doubling back on opening night. Comes up with 2 more here on the single, and that makes way for Chris Gazaldo, the extra hitter. Has spent a lot of time at shortstop, but Atlanta only asking for his bat tonight. So Gazaldo takes the first one down and out, and once again, Manry behind in the count. And the 1-0 pitch grounded foul. It'll be 1 ball, 1 strike. Manry from the stretch. The runner at first is Sam Bradley. Again, his single scored both Brooks and Cam Taylor. Here's a ground ball that's going to be booted by the shortstop, and everybody's safe. Bradley moves up to second, and it's a routine ball. Couldn't be handled by Petrovic, and the inning will continue for Atlanta. Again, if I'm not mistaken, either 3 or 4 of these runs are unearned. It's definitely been a struggle defensively for the Bucks in this inning, as Petrovic boots one, and now here's Peyton Chase Boynes. And this is not the guy that you want to bring up to the plate here with 2 outs, especially after you had a chance to put him away. Boynes getting the start at third base. Outfielder and middle infielder from College Park. Played JUCO at Palm Beach State after transferring from ABAC. Earned himself a first-team All-Sun Lakes nod in 2024. And now bats here with 2 away in the top of the first. Swing and a miss. Took a hack at the outside pitch. No balls and 1 strike. So again, a lot of accolades on the resume of Peyton Chase Boynes. 0-1 gets down in the dirt, but it's blocked up by the catcher Heath Owen. Bradley, the runner at second. Gazaldo, the runner at first. He reached on the air. And they give the bat to a guy who led in home runs at Abraham Baldwin. One ball, 2 strikes now the count from Manry to Peyton Chase Boynes. Atlanta's trying to take as much opportunity as they can out of the mistakes that Brookhaven has made in this inning. Brookhaven still waiting to get up to bat for the first time. And the at-bat will continue. And that's another note here, is that you force Manry to throw quite a few pitches in this inning. The Blues already with 4 runs on just 3 hits. Defensively, Brookhaven going to try to shape things up. This one high and out is the count evens out at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another thing about Boynes, he's great at chess. So he knows how to play the mind games. We already know he knows how to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he swings and misses at the 2-2, and that's going to put him down on strikes. First strikeout for Manry, but 4 runs for Atlanta on just 3 hits might be the story of tonight's ball game. It's 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the first here from Oglethorpe Stadium. Test. Pest. So we're back here, folks, in the bottom half of the first inning as the Brookhaven Bucks will get their first crack at offense. First, let's take a quick look at our starter, Javon Ray, for Atlanta, as he delivers the first pitch for ball one. So 1 ball, no strikes here from Javon Ray to Caden Long, the starting left fielder and leadoff hitter for Brookhaven. Again, Javon Ray, the starter for Atlanta from Douglasville, Georgia, attended Georgia Southern University, graduated just recently, as the count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Went to Stevenson High School, also pursuing business management. And a quick blast to the past, 2018 DeKalb County Pitcher of the Year at Stevenson. So now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ray to Caden Long. And this one sent foul and out of play. And now a very close 2-2 that just misses. The count will go full. Long so far, still trying to make the most of his at-bats. Only 1 hit so far and 15 at-bats for Long, and now make that 16 as Ray takes care of the left-handed hitting Caden Long for the first out. That's the first strikeout for Ray. And here comes the extra hitter, Forrest Leitz, into the box. Another left-handed hitter for Brookhaven. Leitz so far, 2 hits and 8 plate appearances for the left-handed hitter. Also has a stolen base. And has only gone down on strikes once. Here's a ground ball that's going to be scooped up by Ray, but they're going to say foul ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Again, Ray had some nice pitching in his outing. That was against, I believe it was the Gold Diggers. Why am I blanking on this now? 1 ball, 2 strike as Ray goes ahead and gets ahead. Goes ahead and gets ahead. That sounds pretty catchy as he delivers the 1-2, and it's called on the outside corner. 2 batters face, 2 strikeouts for the right-hander, Javon Ray. Leads down on strikes, and now here's the third baseman, Cooper Williams.
Now batting for the Bucks, the third baseman, Cooper Williams.
Yeah, it's pitched 4 innings in that start. Only gave up 1 run, struck out 4 batters, only walked 1. So comes into this one officially with a 2.25 ERA. And that's better than any other pitcher that the Blues have. Again, we've seen a lot of runs go up on the board for the Blues opponents this season. And a lot of that's been due to walks. Something that Ray did not struggle with in his start. Here's another one grounded fouling off the batter. It's going to be a 1 ball, 2 strike count to Cooper Williams, the third baseman. So far, Brookhaven has sent 3 to the plate, all 3 left-handed hitters going up against the righty Ray. And the 1-2 coming. This one grounded over to second. Fielded on a hop by DJ Butler, and he gets it to first. 1-2-3 for Ray as we go to the top half of the second. Still a 4-0 lead for Atlanta, and we'll be right back with you. Hello, folks. And we're back here for the top of inning number 2. And so far, things have been in the favor of Atlanta. They sport a 4-0 lead. And again, I'm in a good mood now, as I found out I was the proud recipient of the final Chick-fil-A sandwich available at the concession stands here today. So I'm doing great. The Blues are doing great. Brookhaven struggled defensively in that first. Committed a couple of errors, and that led to those 4 Atlanta runs. Now a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Andy Roman, tonight's catcher for Atlanta. And a called strike on the outside corner. Roman, the sophomore at Bossier Parish CC out in Louisiana. So he made the trip out here to Atlanta for the Sun Belt to share some time with Keelan Sloan back there behind home plate. Again, the Blues have seen a couple different guys go at catcher. But guys like Sloan and Roman have really seemed to stand out. And now Roman works the count full. And here it comes from Manry. And he fouls it off. Count will stay full here. Again, the Blues have done a really nice job getting their leadoff base runners on this season. Again, safe to say they haven't had the most success converting those into runs. Honestly, with the exception of that June 5th matchup against Gainesville that saw Atlanta put up 21 runs in 7 innings of play. Won that game 21-9, and still to this day their only win on the season. So Roman fouls off another. Count stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here it comes from Luke Manry. Popped him up. Over is Petrovic, the shortstop, and he gets over on the second base side, takes it, and makes the catch. So 1 out, but props to Andy Roman. Again, once again, another guy that made Manry throw quite a few pitches. That was a 7-pitch at bat. Now here's Trey Butler. Excuse me, Jacoby Brooks stepping up to the plate. Not quite sure how that happened. Might have been some lineup confusion, honestly, by head coach Joe Austin over there.
He came in for 10. For Allen. Yeah.
There's a chance what happened is Brooks is going in defensively here in the inning. And just accidentally stepped up in the spot of Trey Butler, but it doesn't matter. There's a ground ball and a base hit for Jacoby Brooks. So Brooks singles, hitting in what, again, I thought should have been the spot of Trey Butler. But Brooks singles, he's aboard at first base, and here comes Vernon Clay.
Shortstop, Vernon Clay. Oh, we're going to move that guy, Trey Butler, to... Yeah, you don't switch any guys until they hit for Dwight Allen.
Clay gets a hold of one out to right center field. That will be caught out in right field by the right fielder, Joe Cable. Brooks will stay at first, and there are 2 out in the inning. So Clay now over 2 with 2 flyouts, and here comes DJ Butler, once again hitting from that left side.
Second baseman, DJ Butler. That was first pitch, right?
And now he pops Butler up, this time a little bit deeper. It'll be the center fielder. And that's Drewby Pinkston who comes in to make the play, and that's 3 outs. We will go to the bottom of the second as the Bucks will once again get another crack at it. 4-0 lead for Atlanta. Bottom half of inning number 2, and we're getting started quickly here as Javon Ray delivers the first pitch outside. 4-1. Apologies for that. I was finishing my chicken sandwich. Again, I feel lucky to have even gotten the sandwich. I walked up and they said, yes, we do have more. And then I find out it was the last one available. So sorry to any fans who were hoping to get that last chicken sandwich. 2 balls and no strikes. Javon Ray to Tyler Bayer. Now the count will go to 3-0. Really the first count so far that Ray has found himself in trouble in. He's pitched effectively and efficiently so far. Now it'll be 3 balls and 1 strike. And the fly ball down the left field line. Is that caught? I wish I knew.
It is not.
Not caught. Again, you take the view you can get from back here in the Oglethorpe press box. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Storage shed. Yeah, storage shed, not press box.
We'll call it a press box for sake of the broadcast here. So Ray with a full count to the batter, Tyler Bayer. And strike 3 called. Sits him down on the outside corner. That's his 3rd strikeout. His 7th strikeout in just 5 1/3 innings of Sunbelt work.
Now batting for the Bucks, the extra hitter, Holden Baker.
Interestingly enough, 2 out of 3 strikeouts so far coming on very similar pitches, both of them looking. So Ray is rolling here and delivers a pitch down in the dirt. Ball 1 to Hayden Baker, excuse me, the extra hitter. There's a ground ball through the hole. Left side base hit for Baker. And he's aboard, first base runner that Brookhaven has been able to put aboard tonight. It's a single for Hayden Baker, and here's the right fielder, Joe Cable.
Now batting the right fielder, Joe Cable.
Joe Cable. Trying to locate his name on my roster here so I can tell you more about him. Also a catcher is Cable. Sophomore class at Northwest Florida State College. Originally from Roswell, Georgia. Stands in there at 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. 1 ball, 1 strike will be the count as Ray delivers a fastball called for a strike. Again, so that was the first hit off the bat of Hayden Baker for the Bucks. Ray will turn over to first, check him out, and send him diving back into first. Cable facing a 1 ball, 1 strike count. And here it comes. This one off the end of the bat. Again, one of the hardest parts I think that I'm going to struggle with tonight is following the ball off the bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Joe Cable. This one down in the dirt, gets away from Andy Roman, but he chases it down before the runner Baker had a chance to advance. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now, the count to Cable. Ty Petrovich, the shortstop, on deck. And here it comes. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Clay gonna charge, decide to go to first. Throws it high, but Taylor pulls it in for out number 2. So 6-3 in the books. Clay might have had a chance to get the lead runner, but decided to go straight ahead to first base. And now here's the shortstop, Ty Petrovich. Stepping up here for his first at-bat tonight. Petrovich on the season, hitting 167. Just 3 hits on his 18 at-bats so far. He's appeared in 5 games so far for the Bucks. Getting the start at shortstop on this Friday night. And Ray delivers a fastball strike right at the knees. Petrovic takes a look, and it's 1-1 strike to the right-handed hitting Petrovic. And he gets a piece of one, but foul down the third baseline. Andrew Pinkston stands on deck. The outfielder from Smyrna, Georgia, they call him Drewby. Starting center fielder tonight for Brookhaven. And the 1-2 pitch on the way from Ray as he takes a look at the runner at second. And a line drive and a base hit into right field. That's going to be fielded on one hop by Bradley. Everybody's going to move up 90 feet. Bradley's throw comes home. It's backed up by Javon Ray. That throw was a rocket from right field up the third base line from Bradley, trying to make sure that Baker was going to stay put at third, which he does. So now 2 singles in the inning in first and third for the batter, Drewby Pinkston. Again, a senior at Northwestern, went to Lovett High School. And if they can get Pinkston aboard, it would be the catcher Heath Owen on deck. Owen so far 3 hits in his 11 at-bats, but for now the left-handed hitting Pinkston. Ray from the stretch. The runner at first base, Petrovic, stays put, so first and third again with 2 away here. A single from Hayden Baker, he stands at third, and then a single from Petrovic, who stands at first. And I'm sure Roman's thinking that he's got to watch that runner at first. In my honest opinion, if that runner tries to snag second, I'm at least going to give him a throw down there. 1-1 to the lefty Pinkston. And just misses the outside corner. It'll go to 2-1 strike. Ray likes that outside corner. And he's already struck out 2 batters looking with a fastball outside, and then got Caden Long to lead off the bottom of the first with a swing and a miss for a strike 3. And they're going to get the runner, Petrovic, picked off at first. Javon Ray has been itching to use that pickoff move, and it's successful for out number 3. We go to the top of the third. Still a 4-0 Atlanta lead. Top of the third inning. Once again from Oglethorpe at Brookhaven, Georgia, I'm Jacob Seaver, excited to bring you Sunbelt Baseball again on a Friday night. still pretty hot out here. And we got 7:16 Eastern time out there on the clock, and the sun is still shining bright. Probably have to give it another hour or two before it really starts to get a bit darker here and start to cool off here at Oglethorpe University. But for now, it's going to be Chandler Hicks stepping up to the plate. Not in the starting lineup for Atlanta, but he's going to step in the EH spot. So that's what happened. Now this makes a little bit of sense. Hicks hitting in the spot of Dwight Allen. Dwight Allen came out of the game on the base paths earlier. And Jacoby Brooks took his spot at second base, and then Brooks stepped up in the leadoff spot in place of Trey Butler and went out to play center field. So it looks like they're bringing in Hicks in the EH spot. Brooks moved to center field. So Chandler Hicks pinch hits here for Atlanta. It looks like we've got a flyover of some sort. And he squares to bunt, pops it up, and out of play off the backstop. So the batter Hicks gets under it with the bunt, and it'll be no ball and one strike. Luke Manry then comes in here, trying to limit the damage. Gave up 4 runs in the first inning, but again, not a lot to his credit. There were 3 separate defensive errors committed by Brookhaven in that first. Now one fouled off the end of the bat down the first baseline by Chandler Hicks, 0-2. Manry with 1 strikeout. He struck out Peyton Chase Boynes to end the first inning defensively. Now here comes the 0-2 to Chandler Hicks. And a swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 2 for Manry. So Manry puts down the leadoff man here in the third for Atlanta, and now it's Cam Taylor, the first baseman. If I'm not mistaken, Cam Taylor, one of 3 men to reach because of those errors back in the first. Also one of a few that ultimately came around to score in that first inning. So Taylor 0 for 1 on the day officially. And now gets ahead 2-0. Be interested to know what Manry's pitch count is at this point. As here's a line drive up the middle. That's a base hit for Cam Taylor. So a rocket up the middle as Taylor reaches base with a base hit with 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Now here's Miles Bowens, the left fielder. Again, you look at a guy like Cam Taylor. Came into this game hitting .200 on the season, only 3 hits in his 15 at-bats so far. But guys that have been hitting the ball hard all season long, just not putting it in the right place. And here's a big swing and a drive fouled on the right field line by Miles Bowens. Again, we saw him hit a home run on Monday night out against the Aviators in Alpharetta. Although this ballpark a little less susceptible to the home run. In that Legion Field, it's a really fun ballpark to play at. Out there at post 201. And now Bowen sends one out to deep right field. Back at the wall, and see you later. Bowens with a big fly, a 2-run home run. It's a 6-0 game here as the lefty goes deep. And that it happens to be the same spot that he hit it to on Monday. We know he likes to pull the ball, and he pulls it over the right center field wall for 2 runs for the Blues. And again, from this vantage point, it's hard to tell exactly the trajectory of a baseball coming off the bat, but that one, again, just kind of threw me off at first, just kept carrying and carrying. I looked out there and saw the right fielder, Joe Cable. And here's a line drive off the bat of Sam Bradley. So another hit off the bat of the Atlanta Blues. It's a single for Bradley. And that's 3 consecutive hits as Taylor singled, then Bowens homered, and now Bradley singles as here's Chris Gazaldo. So the Blues trying to add on offensively here, and there's only 1 out in the inning. Now it looks like the catcher, Heath Owen, going to go have a conversation with Manry. Again, he's got to be getting up there in the pitch count. And you just got to calm him down. And we know he can pump strikes. That's not the problem. Has yet to walk a batter in this game. But he's just trying to tell him to slow down a little bit and try to mix up the rhythm here a little bit. So here's Chris Gazaldo. Gazaldo in the first inning reached on an error by the shortstop Petrovic, who, by the way, Brookhaven making a defensive change at the beginning of this inning, bringing in a new shortstop. Looks like that's Braden Leonard out there, the freshman from Villanova. 1 ball and no strike to Gazaldo. This one up and in. Gazaldo lets it whiz by, and there's 2 balls and no strikes. Atlanta now up to a 7-2 lead in the hit column and leading 6 runs to none. Now it looks like the Bucks might make a change here. Not quite sure what kind of action they've got going on out in their bullpen. I believe this is Joel Chrysler. I could be wrong. Having a conversation out there with Manry. The Blues have been hitting the ball well. Again, they've tallied now 7 hits on the night, including a 2-run home run off the bat of Miles Bowens, his second of the season. So they're going to stick with Manry. And he will face Gazaldo here, still with only 1 out in the frame. The runner at first base is the right fielder, Sam Bradley. Bradley's got himself a 2-for-2 night going. And the first pitch down low, it's 3 balls and no strikes as the count picks up right where it left off. Now catches the zone, 3 balls and a strike. So Manry trying to go as long as he can here. Very possible that either Gazaldo or Peyton Chase Boynes, who stands on deck, will be his final hitter of the day. So Gazaldo walks. Bradley moves up to second base. That's the first walk allowed so far by Manry. And here comes Peyton Chase Boynes. Boynes still looking for his first home run on this season. Manry looks at Bradley and now delivers to the plate. Line drive into left field. Coming over and making the catch is the left fielder, Caden Long. So Boynes put some wood on it, but it's right into the glove of Caden Long, and there's 2 outs. Now here comes the catcher, Andy Roman. 0 for 1 after flying out to lead off the second inning. Now he bats here in the third. Boynes, by the way, now 0 for 2 after that fly out. Struck out back in the first. Was Manry's first strikeout victim in this contest. He's since punched out Chandler Hicks. That was his second. And now faces Andy Roman. 6-0 Atlanta lead with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third. Top half of the third, excuse me. Again, you get familiar with the Blues being the home team. Which, by the way, again, you guys can catch another Blues home game tomorrow night. That'll be at Georgia State Baseball Complex. That'll be streaming live on Sidearm Sports. Again, happy to bring you this matchup here on YouTube today. Audio only, of course. I'll be honest, we tried to set the camera up. We did. But there's just so much foot traffic here that it was impossible to find a good place to set it up. 1-2 is fouled back, so Roman stays alive. Manry still trying to work his way out of this top of the third inning. Again, his defense hasn't made it very easy on him. They committed those errors back in the first, and that kind of set the precedent. He pitched a good second, but then now struggling here in the third. Roman keeping his at-bat alive. We saw Roman give Manry a similar effort in his previous at-bat. I believe that one went 7 pitches. And now this one here going to be awaiting its 6th pitch. Manry from the stretch with Gazaldo at first and Bradley at second. Here's one sent in the air to left field. That'll take Caden Long back, but he makes the catch for out number 3. So 2 runs on the home run by Miles Bowens is going to give the Blues a 6-0 lead. They've done it on 7 hits, and that might be the end of the road for Luke Manry. Either way, we go to the bottom of the third, and the Bucks have some work to do. So welcome back here for the bottom half of the third, as the Bucks will get their 3rd crack at it here. And safe to say, Javon Ray having himself a nice outing. And we're going to get our 2nd look at Drewby Pinkston, as his at-bat was cut short by a nice pickoff move from Ray back in the 2nd. So a 2-0 count. In this inning for Brookhaven, it'll go Pinkston, Owen, and then Jackson Ugla, the second baseman. So 2 balls and a strike here on Drewby Pinkston. This one high and inside. Count will go to 3-1. Ray pitching efficiently so far, has yet to walk a batter. But now a 3-1 count here to Drewby Pinkston. And he puts a fastball called in for a strike. So we're going to see a payoff here with nobody out in the bottom of the third. This one hit high in the air. 3 players converging on it for Atlanta. Not quite sure what the result of that play was. Looks like it might have gone foul out of play. Again, we have this problem at Georgia State too. There's actually a tree blocking my view from the press box at Georgia State. Similar problem here, except it's a wall. So we're going to get another payoff. And so far, Ray having struck out the leadoff hitter in both the first and second innings so far. That was Caden Long in the first and Tyler Bayer in the second. And now Pinkston puts one on the ground and booted by the shortstop Clay. And in between hop is going to result in the first defensive error for Atlanta on this Friday night. It belongs to Vernon Clay, unfortunately, for the Blues. And the leadoff hitter is aboard. So Pinkston reaches base. It's an E6 for Atlanta, and here comes Heath Owen, the catcher. Owen so far hitting .273 on the year. And a swing and a miss. So 0-1 here to what I believe is the catcher, Heath Owen. Yes, the catcher, Heath Owen. Had him in my scorecard as number 2. Saw number 20. Got confused for a second. But it's an 0-1 count. Again, 7 hits so far for Atlanta, 2 for Brookhaven. Looking for their third here, and it's Heath Owen, the catcher. Trying to add his 4th hit of the season.
It makes sense because it goes against the stealing stats, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Now an 0-2 count from Ray to Heath Owen. The leadoff hitter, Pinkston, reaching on the error by the shortstop, Vernon Clay. And now he goes upstairs with a fastball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ray from the stretch with Pinkston on first. And Owen sends this one foul. Heath Owen, the catcher from Marietta, Georgia, won a state championship with Pope High School back in 2022. Also interesting thing about this kid, knows how to juggle. And I think he must have learned that from his teammate Tyler Bayer, who I hear can also juggle pretty well. 1-2 from Ray, and a swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the swing from Heath Owen. That's strikeout number 4 for Javon Ray. It comes here in the bottom of the 3rd. And there is 1 gone here for Atlanta. Here's Jackson Ugla. Jackson Ugla getting the start at second base tonight for the Bucks. Batting in the 10 spot. So the leadoff man, Caden Long, stands on deck. If you're Ray, you're looking for a ground ball up the middle. Really just anything to record an out and keep the runner right where he's at. Here's one on the ground. That's going to be scooped by Boynes onto second. That's Butler. On to first, a double play. Beautiful around-the-horn action from Atlanta to close out the bottom of the 3rd. We go to the top of the 4th. It is a 6-0 Blues lead. Fans, if you're here with us at Oglethorpe, again, a very important reminder that was just given over the PA. If you do happen to retrieve a foul ball, you can turn that in for a free Coke product at the concession stand. So fans, keep your eyes out, bring your gloves to the ballpark, and collect yourself a foul ball for a free Coke. Again, I'm hoping to cash in on that, but it'll be kind of hard here in the press box. And I'm sure you heard the announcement, but we've got a new pitcher entering the game here for Brookhaven. And I'm going to introduce him to you momentarily. That's going to be Sian Kajavi, the pitcher and outfielder from Brookhaven, plays for Oglethorpe, so pitching on his home field. Went to Chambly High School and previously played for the 9th Inning Royals. Look at his high school accolades back in 2023. Part of that all-DeKalb County first team and now representing Brookhaven in relief here against Atlanta.
Yeah, let me know when she's leaving, and I'll do it. I'll say that.
So Kajavi, a right-hander, following the right-hander Manry. And stepping up here to lead things off should be Jacoby Brooks. Again, if the Blues keep everything in their lineup together, it'll be Jacoby Brooks, and that's exactly who it's going to be. So Jacoby Brooks, the outfielder from Fayetteville, Georgia. Again, interesting tidbit about this young man, actually a cousin of Timberwolves superstar Anthony Edwards. Kid loves to compete, and you can see his hustle every time around the horn. Hit a leadoff home run in his first ever high school playoff game back at Whitewater. And now in his second year with the Atlanta Blues here, just a couple years later. Takes a strike on the first pitch from Kajavi. Again, Kajavi, the right-hander from Brookhaven, right here at Oglethorpe. And pitched for Chambly High School. Ahead 0-2 here to Jacoby Brooks. Brooks in his last at-bat. Singled for the 4th Atlanta hit of the night. They've now reached 7 total hits and have turned that into 6 runs. And now that one outside, ball and 2 strikes here to Brooks, who took over in center field back in the second inning. Again, there was some confusion on the lineup. Initially entered as a pinch runner in the spot of Dwight Allen. And now takes a breaking ball outside corner. Nasty work from Kajavi for out number 1. Here's Vernon Clay, no balls and 1 strike as he takes a big hack at the first pitch, and there's 1 out here in the inning. So Kajavi enters, immediately gets the strikeout, and that's what Brookhaven needed. Needed a good inning where you get out there, get the leadoff hitter, which credit to Manry, he did just that in the 3rd inning, struck out Chandler Hicks. But now it's 0-2. And it's Vernon Clay, who's 0 for 2 in the contest. Fly out to left and a fly out to center. Leaves the 0-2 alone, that's down in the dirt. Kajavi tried to go back to that breaking ball, but this time spiking it down low. Again, Clay has been one of the better offensive players in the lineup this year. And now puts one on the ground. That's going to be scooped up by the shortstop, and the throw over to first is down in the dirt, but handled by Tyler Bayer. And I know that Brookhaven had brought in a new shortstop. We'll have to remind you who that is momentarily, but for now it's going to be DJ Butler stepping up to the plate. So 6-3 in the books. And 2 away here as Kajavi gets 2 quick outs. Oh, it's Braden Leonard out there at shortstop. And freshman from Villanova. Swing and a miss. Butler tried to hold up his swing, but he went around. It's an 0-2 count. Brookhaven looking for a clean fourth and on their way to doing so. 0-2 and 2 outs to Butler. Tries to go outside, and I like the idea. And Kajabi has been excellent so far. His placement has been beautiful. No reason to give him something fat over the plate with an 0-2 count. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And strike three called. A little bit of slide action on that. I don't know. I don't even know if I wanted to call that a slider. Looked like it had the inner movement, but then still kind of on the same plane that you would normally see a fastball. But either way, it's strike three, second strikeout for Kajabi, and the third out. We will go to the bottom of the fourth, and we will see Brookhaven once again. So Javon Ray comes back out here for his fourth inning of work, and so far the right-hander has been excellent, picking up a couple of strikeouts, has not allowed a run, and has only allowed 2 hits so far in the contest. The Bucks going to try to come up here and put a stop to this real quick. And it's going to start with the leadoff man, Caden Long. Again, we saw that third inning come to a close with a 5-4-3 double play around the horn. It was Boynes, Butler, and Taylor defensively for Atlanta. And now a 1-1 count here to Caden Long. Atlanta's turned a couple of nice double plays this season, and that's one thing that head coach Joe Austin stresses in practice, is turning every ground ball into a double play. So Ray getting ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes to the lefty, Caden Long. And strike 3 called. Outside corner. He's been living there tonight. And I'm sure some of these strikeouts are living in the heads of the Brookhaven Bucks. That's 5 strikeouts for Ray. And now here's Forrest Leitz. Swing and a miss. When Ray gets on a roll, he can really work it, and we saw that in his career at Georgia Southern. Struck out 77 batters across 57 appearances. Only made 6 starts during his time with Georgia Southern, but getting the start here for the Blues, and this second start of the season for Atlanta. And now a pitch taken outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to the batter, Forrest Leitz. Leitz, one of 4 strikeout victims, a total 5 so far for Javon Ray. Struck out Long twice. And now here's Leitz as he leaves one alone, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Punches 1 foul as he will allow his at-bat to continue. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Forrest Leitz in that left-handed batter's box. And he takes one just outside as Ray will see another full count. Forrest Leitz, the sophomore from Birmingham Southern College, awaits the payoff pitch. And he leaves it alone, down and out. A nice take by the sophomore, and that will be the first walk allowed in the contest by Javon Ray. So Leitz works the walk. It took 6 pitches to do it. And now here's Cooper Williams. Grounded out in his first at-bat, so an 0-for-1 day for Williams so far. One ball and no strikes the count as he leaves that one alone down low. Williams, only 3 at-bats on the season coming into tonight. Turned those 3 at-bats into 2 hits, so technically on paper, came in hitting .667 on the season today. Of course, small sample size. Getting the start at third base here tonight, now a 1-1 count. And this one taken high just above the letters, so 2 balls and 1 strikes from Ray to Cooper Williams. Tyler Bayer, the second baseman, stands on deck. Ray will throw over to first. If you remember back in that second inning, Ray able to pick off Ty Petrovich. And then, of course, the Bucks turning right around and putting Leonard in at shortstop. So a 3-ball, 1-strike count now to the left-handed hitting Williams. But first, Ray going to try over to first again. I like that move. Got a quick little pop step back. And he's been on target with all of his throws to first so far. Probably the most important part of that whole thing. But now misses the zone once again. Back-to-back walks from Javon Ray. And that'll put runners at first and second. So now here's Tyler Bayer. Tyler Bayer struck out looking back in the second inning and now comes up here. But before that, looks like Atlanta going to have a conversation. We'll see if this is the end of the road for Ray. Again, so far Ray, 5 strikeouts in the contest, has only allowed 2 hits. And the Bucks have yet to put one up on the board. So Austin going to stick with his guy. Likely just a few words of encouragement from head coach Joe Austin. And Ray will face Bayer. So Tyler Bayer getting the start at first base here today for Brookhaven, but also plays a little bit of outfield. Graduated from South Forsyth High School and a freshman at Kennesaw State. 18 years old. Both of his parents also played D1 sports. So a lot of athletes in that family. And now a 1-ball, no-strike count from Ray. Standing at 6'4" in that left-handed batter's box with runners at first and second. Popped him up. Jacoby Brooks ranges to his right and will make the grab. The runner at second base, that's Forrest Leitz, will decide to hold up there, and it's a very important out right there from Javon Ray. You get the cleanup hitter to pop it up. And now here's Hayden Baker trying to do something with it. Baker singled in his first at-bat, and that was the first hit of the ball game for the Bucks back in the second inning. Could use another knock here. Grounds one to first. That's off the glove of Cam Taylor. See if he can recover. He gets to the bag and steps on it just in time to put away Baker, who was hustling down the first base line. Either way, Ray walks two, but still escapes unscathed. It's a 6-0 Atlanta lead going into the top half of the fifth. Welcome back here once again from Oglethorpe University. I'm Jacob Seaver. We've got a 6-0 ball game on our hands as Atlanta came out with 4 in the first, proceeded to put up 2 in the third. So all those runs belonging to Luke Manry, but again, a mix of earned and unearned runs as we saw 3 defensive errors committed in the first by Brookhaven. That brings us to where we are now here in the top of the fifth, and Chandler Hicks stepping up to lead things off. So 1 ball and no strikes. Here is the first pitch missed outside. Now he goes back, hits the corner of the plate with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Blues still working with 7 hits, but looking to add a few more here in the fifth. Now he sends one foul. That's going to be right above the Atlanta dugout. Those 3 errors back in the first. The only 3 so far committed by Brookhaven. Atlanta did have the 1 error, and that was a ground ball to shortstop Vernon Clay. That was back in the 3rd inning, but of course didn't lead to any damage done. And a beautiful pitch swung on and missed by Chandler Hicks. Looked like maybe a curveball inside. Got Hicks swinging, and that's out number 1. Nice job by the catcher Heath Owen to chase it down and get it over to first.
First baseman, Cam Taylor.
So Hicks goes down on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout for Kajavi. Struck out 2 in the 4th frame, and now 1 here in the 5th. Kajavi from the windup with nobody on. Looked like some sort of changeup there out of the hands. Got away from Kajavi. So 1 ball, no strikes on Cam Taylor, the first baseman. Has reached and scored twice. A single back in the 3rd, and then reached on an error in the 1st. Now he goes up and in. 2 balls, no strikes. And here comes the 2-0 from Kajavi. Swinging a pop-up out to left center field. That'll bring the center fielder, and that's, I believe, Drewby Pinkston, but I could be wrong. Looks like there might be a new center fielder out there. Not quite sure who that is out in center for Brookhaven. Again, it can be hard to see the numbers on the jerseys from here, but works for the most part. So it still is Pinkston out in center. Here's a ground ball over to second, and a nice play and a nice throw to first made on the infield. That was Jackson Ugla, the second baseman, and there are 3 up, 3 down in the inning. So another good one for Kajabi as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back, fans, here for the bottom of the 5th. Bucks still have yet to do any damage to Javon Ray, who has pitched excellently so far through 4 innings of work, has picked up 5 strikeouts along the way, and now will face the leadoff hitter, Joe Cable. So Cable leads off, and by the way, fans, got a lot of festivities going on here at Oglethorpe University. Got $5 finger painting, or excuse me, face painting, that is. Got some water balloons being thrown, I hear. So definitely, you don't want to miss out. So get on down here if you're not already here. Here we are in the bottom of the 5th. Javon Ray delivers the first pitch for ball 1. Now that one's down for ball 2. So again, about the confusion on my part, Drewby Pinkston remains in center field. I couldn't tell if they had made a defensive change. Looked like a new number out there, but Pinkston still the center fielder. Well, for now, it's Joe Cable ahead 3 balls to no strikes, and ball 4 going to be taken high and in. So Ray losing control of the fastball just a tad bit as a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff hitting Joe Cable. That's the 3rd walk allowed by Ray on the night. And I'm sure there's likely quite a bit of action in that Blues bullpen. Question is, who's it going to be? Might they go to Jamie Lawrence? Might they go to Keith Copeland? Maybe Tyler DeShane? You really don't know. Pitch is going to get away from the catcher, Roman. That was down in the dirt, so a 1-0 count here from Ray to the batter, and I believe it's Braden Leonard. Yep, Braden Leonard, the shortstop, now batting, getting his first plate appearance. And so 1 ball, no strikes after that one gets away from Roman, and Cable moves up to second. Anyway, here's Braden Leonard. Now 2 balls and no strikes will be the count as Ray misses once again. That's 6 straight balls thrown by the right-hander. Again, Roman might want to think about going to have a brief word with his pitcher. Ray has only allowed 2 hits so far in the ball game and delivers a strike on the outside corner. Again, came into tonight's game with an ERA of 2.25, and that's only improving, but here a bit of a tough situation with a runner already in scoring position and now moving up to third as another pitch in the dirt gets away from Roman. So a 3-1 count on the batter Leonard, and Ray's trying to find the strike zone. Ray walked 2 men back in the third. Also walked 1 in the fourth. Here's one sent out to shallow center field, and that's going to get down in front of Jacoby Brooks. Coming in to score is Joe Cable, and that's the first Brookhaven run of the ball game. It's 6-1. 3 hits now for the Bucks. They cash in 1 on the single from Leonard. And now here's Drewby Pinkston. Pinkston reached on an error in his first at-bat. Didn't make it any further than first base, and now bats here in the bottom of the 5th. Now they're going to check over to first base. And the runner Leonard slides back in safely. And now do we have another pickoff at first base? Unbelievable. Javon Ray, I told you, he's got a nice move over there to first. Even caught me by surprise. I look down at my scorecard and I look up and they're signaling out number 1. So that's a way to steal it out. So after singling, Leonard going to get picked off at first base. So now the base is clear. And that'll allow Ray to once again pitch from the windup. 2 balls and 1 strike to Drewby Pinkston. And those are the kind of mistakes that'll just kind of keep you out of ball games. Already trailing by 5. And now you run yourself into another out. Ray picked off Ty Petrovich back in the first, and now the man who replaces him is picked off. And now a swing and a miss by Pinkston. That's strikeout number 6 for Javon Ray, and here your luck can turn once you get a clutch out like that. So the 1 run did score. That was Joe Cable, the right fielder. Worked a walk and then came around to score. Made it to third on 2 wild pitches, and then, of course, the single by Braden Leonard. 1 ball and no strike now to Heath Owen. Count will go to 1-1 as he fouls it off. Like I said, Owen, the catcher from Marietta, won the state championship with Pope High School back in 2022. Also won the 18U WWBA with 643 back in that same year. So he's got the heart of a champion. And now he laces one up the middle for a single. So that's the 4th hit by the Bucks tonight, given up by Javon Ray, and it belongs to Heath Owen, the catcher.
Now batting for the Bucks, the second baseman, Jackson Ugla.
And you think with every at-bat, you're just one pitch away from getting Javon Ray out of there and forcing the Blues to go to their bullpen, but despite multiple mound visits, Ray standing strong and pitches with 2 outs and a runner at first. The only Brookhaven run of the night came earlier in this frame. It was Joe Cable who worked a walk and then scored on the Braden Leonard single. Now Heath Owen singles, and here's Jackson Ugla, the second baseman. Takes a brushback fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. So after Ugla, we're back to the top, meaning Ray has one job to do, and that's get this out right here, right now. Then again, you already have struck out Caden Long 2 times, as here's one dumped into right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Moving up to second is Heath Owen, and it's back-to-back singles for Brookhaven. So Caden Long will step up.
Yes, sir. Now batting, the left fielder, Caden Long.
Caden Long.
That's whatever you sent me, it took me to that. Here's what I was trying to send you. Excuse me.
Go ahead. First pitch from Ray is high. To the batter, Caden Long. Caden Long, the center fielder from Hoover, Alabama. Plays for UAB, currently a junior. Went to Roswell High School and played for Team Elite. Also a football player is Caden Long. Interestingly enough, he throws and hits left-handed, but kicks and punts with his right leg. Also loves golf. Get this, bet you didn't know this, his older brother, Ty Long, 3-year team captain for the Los Angeles Chargers, and most recently played for the New York Jets. Here's a fly ball hit off the end of the bat out towards left, taking Miles Bowen's back, who makes the catch at the wall. A nice defensive play for Atlanta. He was stumbling at the wall, but eventually recovered to make the catch for out number 3. We go to the top of the 6th, and it's 6-1. So Kajabi, the freshman from Oglethorpe, is back out there once again here in inning number 6. Again, happy to be back with you right here from Oglethorpe University. Again, we'll be home tomorrow. That'll be another matchup here between the Bucks and the Blues, but that one will take place at Georgia State Complex, so we'll see you there. And again, thank you for tuning in. We should be back on sidearm tomorrow.
Right fielder, Samuel Bradley.
But for now, it's going to be the right fielder, Sam Bradley, to step up and lead things off. Bradley so far 2 for 2 in the game, 2 singles. One of those went for 2 RBI back in the first inning, and he gets a hold of one down the right field line, but foul. Again, Bradley stands in there at 6'2", and when he gets a hold of him, he can hit it pretty far. I've seen it before in batting practice. Likes to pull the ball down that right field line. Again, usually starting at first base for this Atlanta Blues lineup, but today in there in right field. Fouled back, no balls and 2 strikes against the outfielder. After Bradley, it's going to be Chris Gazaldo, the extra hitter. And then if all goes according to plan, it'll be Peyton Chase Boynes. 1 ball and 2 strikes as he leaves the off-speed pitch alone. And Gazaldo goes over there to pick it up. 1-2 from Kajabi. Kajabi in search here of his 4th strikeout. Entered in the 4th. Here we are in the 6th. Off the end of the bat, popped him up. Back behind third base. And Cooper Williams goes over there to catch it. So 1 away here as Bradley pops out.
The extra hitter, Chris Gazaldo.
And here's Gazaldo. Gazaldo been on with 2 walks tonight so far. And takes a strike. Gazaldo actually reached once on an error back in the first inning, walked in the 3rd. And now it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Here we are in the top half of inning number 6. Here's a fly ball out to center field. Over and putting a glove on it is the center fielder, Drewby Pinkston. 2 away in the inning. And now here's Peyton Chase Boynes. Again, I think it's safe to say now at this point in the season that Boynes is struggling a little bit offensively. Now only 1 hit in 14 at bats. But again, we've seen his resume, so we know the offense is there. High strikeout numbers really at every level for Boynes, but also hits a lot of home runs, a lot of extra base hits. Could use one in the gap here. Pokes it on the ground. 1-1 to the Blues third baseman. 2 outs here in the inning after Kajabi able to work the flyouts of Bradley and Gazaldo. And here comes the 1-1 to Peyton Chase Boynes. He's got a home run swing, but just seems to be getting on top of the ball for most of these swings. And then, of course, every so often he'll square one up, but seems to be going right to the opponent's defense. He'll see another 1-2 pitch. Kajabi from the windup. Drops it on the inside corner, but doesn't get the call from the home plate umpire. The catcher, Andy Roman, on deck in the case that Boynes reaches. Boynes gets under it, out to center field, and right into the glove of Pinkston. So another 3-up, 3-down inning. That's the third consecutive 3-up, 3-down inning for Kajabi. Honestly, I think the umpire should go check him for sticky stuff as we go to the bottom half of the sixth. Here we are back for the bottom of the sixth inning of play here in Brookhaven. And we've got a new pitcher out there for Atlanta. Taking over for Javon Ray, who pitched 5 innings, only allowing 5 hits and 1 run. So a nice outing for Ray. Nice defense behind him for Atlanta. Able to get him out of the game with a 6-1 lead and giving way to the left-hander Kimani Davis. Kimani Davis, the senior from Atlanta, Georgia, making his first appearance on the season in an 0-1 count here to the leadoff hitter, Forrest Leitz, who steps in. So unless I'm mistaken, it'll go Leitz, Williams, Bayer in the inning. 1 ball, 2 strike count here to the extra hitter. Leitz 0 for 1, struck out in the first, reached with a walk in the third, but only make it to second base. Here's one on the ground and a base hit for Leitz. So quickly an 0 for 1 day becomes a 1 for 2 day for the left-handed hitter, and here's Cooper Williams. So I lied to you. Kimani Davis actually making his second appearance. He did appear briefly for 1 inning in that 7-3 loss on Wednesday at Alpharetta. No runs allowed in that outing. Now the lefty enters here with nobody out, and the first batter, Leitz, able to work his way on with a single. Interestingly enough, only a 1-hit advantage on the game for Atlanta, despite a 5-run lead. And now a borderline pitch called for a ball 2. That one looked like it might have caught the outside corner, but the home plate umpire says no. Cooper Williams also 0 for 1, reaching with a walk back in the third. Davis checks The runner leads at first. Of course, Leeds limited in his capabilities with the lefty on the mound. And this one fouled right back and off the mask of Roman. So the home plate umpire going to take a short walk out to the mound and give Roman a couple seconds to contain himself. Again, fans, once again, be sure to catch us for tomorrow night, as the boys in blue will be back at home. And if we're lucky enough, we'll get to see Jeffrey Gore make another start. 2 balls and a strike. And here it comes. Misses outside, so 3-1 the count. So Brookhaven already with a runner at first. That was Leeds who singled. And now Williams ahead with a 3-1 count. Here's one off the end of the bat and foul down the third base line. So Kamani Davis will have to deal with his first full count here tonight. 8:23 Eastern your time here at Oglethorpe. Sun finally starting to set below the horizon. Here's one grounded over to second and high and above the glove of DJ Butler. And now it almost gets through the right fielder. But the runner, Forrest Leeds, only getting to second base. It's a single for Williams. Back-to-back hits for the Bucks. By the way, a couple of different defensive changes in the inning for Atlanta. Let's see if I can get all those changes to you guys listening at home. In right field, it looks like taking over is that number 19? Like I said, hard to tell from here, but I know we've got a couple of changes. Chase Jackson taking over at shortstop. That's one I can confirm. Either way, it's first and second for Tyler Bayer. And there's another thing I learned about Tyler Bayer, also a switch hitter. Hit from the left side in both of his at-bats against Javon Ray, and now from the right side against the lefty, and that's Kamani Davis. Now he puts down a bunt. Davis is going to throw it over the head of the first baseman, Taylor. Rounding and coming in to score is Forrest Leeds. Cooper Williams up to third, and it's a 6-2 ball game with nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth. So Williams over to third. Bayer put down a bunt right between Davis and his first baseman, and then flipped it over the head of Cam Taylor. So it's a 6-2 contest as Forrest Leeds comes all the way around to score. And by the way, now both teams even in the hit column. 7 hits apiece for both the Bucks and the Blues. Now here's Holden Baker. Baker singled back in the second inning, grounded out in the fourth, and now bats once again here in the sixth. Swing and a miss as he goes down 0-2.
I mean, I wonder if we can just hit inning till we get around. I don't know. It'll probably reset everything, though. You might have to do that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to go back an inning. Yeah, you probably have to take a picture of it. Yeah, we just did. I took a picture of it. Well, we might score.
Here, hold on. I'm going to pause. I'm going to come help. So I apologize for the delay. Just trying to figure out some technical difficulties with our scoreboard here. We've got a 6-3 ball game after the single. And I believe that was off the bat of Joe Cable. Brought in 2 runs. Now here's a blue ball off the end of the bat to first base. And that'll be taken for the first out. A lot going on here at Oglethorpe. Just trying to make sure we get the scoreboard right here. Can't have that wrong. And now we're going to get a called strike. Trying to manage a couple different things up here. So apologies for the delays. Here it comes from Kamani Davis. To the batter, Drewby Pinkston. So 2 outs in the inning now. Here it comes to Pinkston. Davis taking a look at the runner at second, and now here it comes. Here's one off the end of the bat, out to center field, but deep enough for the center fielder to make the catch. That's Jacoby Brooks, and that will send us to the bottom half. No, excuse me, the top half of the 7th inning per se, and we'll be right back. So welcome back here for the top half of inning number 7. And we've got a ball game on our hands, folks. 6-3 on the scoreboard. And despite trailing by 3, Brookhaven now with the lead in the hit column as they've worked off 8 total hits tonight to the Blues 7. Blues trying to put a stop to this run. Again, the Blues have not seen any real offense since the 3rd inning, in which they put up 2 runs. Since then, it's been Cian Kajavi on the mound for Brookhaven and getting things done. So first he'll have to face Andy Roman in the leadoff spot here in the 7th inning for Atlanta. Again, 8 hits for Brookhaven, 7 for Atlanta. But a 3-run lead for the Blues here after 6. The Bucks have been able to rely on Kajavi ever since he entered back in the 4th. Since then has tallied 3 strikeouts, so about 1 per frame. But more importantly, has had 3 consecutive 3-up, 3-down innings. Now he faces the catcher. And he takes the 1-0 pitch for strike 1.
What are you doing over there? I didn't touch it. It went to the 2 strikes. Okay. I thought it was ball and strike.
So 1 ball, 1 strike. And here it comes from Kajabi. That one's down in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1. So Kajabi coming into this game has made 2 appearances and given up 6 runs in 2 2/3 innings pitched. But now tonight has so far added 3 scoreless runs to that, or scoreless innings, excuse me. As he drops one in outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Kajabi definitely padding those stats a little bit here tonight. Drops one in on Roman. It looks like he might have slipped a little bit there. And the pitch sails high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 7th inning here, as the Blues are trying to add some much-needed insurance runs. And strike 3 called. Outside corner. Pitch that looked like a fastball, and it just kind of sticks right on that outside corner. That's strikeout number 4 for Kajabi, and it's Andy Roman who falls victim. Now here's Jacoby Brooks. And Brooks so far 1 for 2. Came in the second. And takes a chop at the first pitch. Out towards right center. And it'll be the right fielder. That's Joe Cable making the catch for out number 2.
All right, we got a new player here. Number 11. Chase Jackson.
So now Chase Jackson will step in. It'll be his first at bat in the game. Came in defensively in the last inning for Atlanta. Chase Jackson, the shortstop from Stockbridge, Georgia. Plays for Young Harris College. Sends the first pitch deep to left field. Back it goes, and a nice catch made by Caden Long on the run and turning towards the fence. Out number 3. It's another 3-up, 3-down inning for Kajabi as we head to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 6-3 game. Atlanta leads it. So fans, our 7th inning stretch is brought to you by Global Performance Group. Global Performance Group exists to champion excellence in both life and sports. They provide elite sports medicine and personalized athlete development services, taking your game to the next level. They don't just treat athletes, they elevate champions. To learn more about their services or schedule a consultation, go to their website, performglobally.com, or call 516-996-0048. Bottom of the 7th here, and the Bucks trail by 3, but with blood in their eyes, as Atlanta is going to send out the lefty Kamani Davis again. Struggled a little bit in the 6th, gave up 2 runs. And we now sit here with a 6-3 score. And it's going to be Heath Owen, the catcher, to lead things off for Brookhaven. 1 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th, and that's the only scoring we've seen from the Bucks so far today. And I mean, the Bucks, for their credit, have played in some pretty close games so far this season. As here's a fly ball out into shallow right field, and we're going to get a collision in the outfield, or not so much a collision per se. It was the second baseman, DJ Butler, going out, and the right fielder, Travis Stroud, coming in.
Now batting for the Bucks. The second baseman, Jackson Ugla.
It's going to be an E9 on the play as Stroud was unable to glove it. So the leadoff man, Owen, reaches base. He's over there at first. And now here's the second baseman, Jackson Ugla. Ugla singled in his last at-bat. Also grounded into that 5-4-3 double play we saw to close out the third inning defensively for Atlanta. That's the second defensive error of the day for the Blues. Here's one off the end of the bat. This one right at the right fielder, Stroud, and he makes the catch for the first out. So an E9 and now an F9 in the books, and here comes Caden Long, the left fielder.
The left fielder, Caden Long.
Long so far 0 for 3 on the day. Trying to turn his game around offensively here in the 7th inning. And this is a big at-bat for Brookhaven. I know we've still got a few innings to go, but already with one out here in the 7th and a runner aboard, you got to do something with it. Get one of those 3 runs back. Davis from the stretch takes a look over there at the runner and now delivers a pitch that's going to be hit on the ground, a dribbler foul. Picked up by the third baseman, Eric Rodriguez. So Rodriguez in defensively here. And now one out in the inning, of course, for Jackson Ugla. Excuse me, Caden Long. Forrest Leets on deck with Cooper Williams to trail him. Here comes the 1-1. 2-1 the count after that one misses outside. Again, Long struck out in each of his first and third inning at bats. Got the bat on it in the 5th. And now they've got the runner picked off. He's stuck between second and third. The throw on the ground, and Chase Jackson lays the tag. So the runner, that was Heath Owen, was picked off by Davis. He's been dancing around there at first base the whole time. And this time Davis said he'd had enough. So now a 2-1 count here. And again, that's the third man that an Atlanta pitcher has picked off of first base so far tonight. Not the best base running from Brookhaven. And there's now 2 away. And now a full count to Caden Long. Davis has already had to deal with a couple of these. And now here comes the payoff. Puts the bat on it and pops it up. In comes Rodriguez. Also in comes Jackson, and Rodriguez couldn't glove it. Off the glove. And Caden Long going to be safe at first. And Rodriguez puts the head down. Make that 3 errors now for Atlanta. And there are still 2 outs. That's their second error of the inning, and this time it's going to be taxed to Rodriguez. Fortunately for the Blues, there was no one on base after the pickoff of Heath Owen. But still, another defensive mistake will force Kimani Davis to throw more pitches. 0-1. And another fastball catch in the outside corner as the count goes to 0-2. Leads so far 1 for 3 in the game. Struck out in the first, walked in the third, and singled in the 6th. Also scored one of the 2 runs that Brookhaven put up on the board in that inning. And now it's a 1-2 count. Here it comes from Davis to Leets. Strike 3 called. Went with the breaking ball and got the decision from the home plate umpire. That's the 3rd out, and we'll go to the top of the 8th. Here at Brookhaven, it's a 6-3 Atlanta lead. So we've got a new catcher into the game here for Brookhaven. That's the only change been announced so far, as Kajabi is still back out there. And by the way, fans, don't forget, make sure to get out to a Brookhaven Bucks game this season and have your kids run the bases on the field after the game. It's a great way to make a memory right here at Oglethorpe University. Get on the field, get some sun. Obviously right now the sun finally starting to set and things starting to get a little bit dark out here as the lights come on at Oglethorpe University. Like I said, a new catcher out there for the Bucks. And that's going to be Bill Gant. Bill Gant, the freshman out of Sewanee University of the South. Went to Woodward Academy, also played for 643 like a few of his Bucks teammates. And here comes DJ Butler to lead things off against Kajabi. Again, more about Gant. Two-time All-Region second team in high school. Here's one grounded over to first off the bat of Butler, and one quick out once again for Kajabi. Kajabi has yet to allow a base runner since entering in the fourth. 3 up, 3 down in the fourth, 3 up, 3 down in the fifth, 3 flyouts in the sixth, and another perfect inning in the seventh. Again, 4 straight innings in which Kajabi has retired all 3 batters. And now gets one quick out here. And now it's Chandler Hicks. Chandler Hicks, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, trying to turn that around. And once again, give the Blues some insurance. It's a 6-3 lead for Atlanta here in the top of inning number 8. Now an 0-2 count to the center fielder. Again, hitting in the EH spot today. Hicks also spent some time behind the plate for Atlanta. Puts one on the ground. That'll be gloved by Jackson Ugla and flips it to first for out number 2. A lot of flyouts off the bat of the Blues since Kajabi entered, but that's the second ground out that the pitcher has conceded. And now here comes Cam Taylor. Cam Taylor singled in the third, scored a run in that inning. Also reached on an error back in the first and came across to score. So 1 for 3 officially for Cam Taylor after flying out in the fifth. And now he puts one on the ground. That'll be gobbled up by Bayer, and he steps on the bag. Make it 5 consecutive 3 up, 3 down innings for Kajabi. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, we'll see if Brookhaven has an answer. So leading off here for the Bucks in the bottom half of inning number 8, in down to their last 6 chances here. And Kamani Davis trying to put an end to it. We'll see if there's some action in the bullpen. If Atlanta decides to make a replacement either at some point in this frame or in the 9th. But until then, we've got a 2-0 count here on the batter, and that's Williams. Cooper Williams has himself a 1-for-3 day going. And now it's going to be a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Now Williams puts one on the ground. That's gloved by Chase Jackson. Throw to first. Wow, Williams beats the throw. A rather routine ground ball. Not even a lackadaisical effort from Chase Jackson, just kind of playing the hop. And that results in an infield single for Cooper Williams in the 9th hit of the night for Brookhaven. So here's Tyler Bayer. Bayer reached on an E1 in his last plate appearance. 0 for 3 on the day officially in the books. It was Bayer who stepped up in his last at-bat, laid down a bunt, and then Davis threw it away. Now a 1-0 count to the right-handed hitting Tyler Bayer. Again faced Ray from the left side, now hits from the right side. And a 2-ball, no-strike count. Again, back to Javon Ray. Really great to see him come out here and pitch 4 scoreless innings. Did give up 1 in the 5th. They try over to first, and that's Williams getting back in standing. But it's nice to see a Blues starter go out there and not walk many batters. Something that Atlanta has struggled with all season. The walks have really haunted them. They've given up far more runs than they have hits. Now a 3-ball, no-strike count here to Tyler Bayer. Bayer trying to work a walk and get on base. And now that one called, strike 1, as he puts a fastball in there. Again, the Bucks are down to their final 6 outs in this contest and trail by 3 runs. But a base runner here threatens Atlanta. And ball 4 taken by Bayer. So the single by Cooper Williams, and now the walk of Tyler Bayer will bring up the extra hitter Holden Baker.
Now batting for the Bucks, the extra hitter Holden Baker.
So Baker steps up with nobody out and 2 men on. Lefty on lefty matchup. Davis from the stretch. Gives Williams a look at second and now comes to the plate and delivers strike 1. Baker was squaring to bunt, decided to pull back, but Davis gets the call anyway. 0-1 here from Davis to Holden Baker. Takes a pitch outside. It'll be 1 ball, 1 strike. And now Joe Cable, the right fielder, on deck. And he leaves it outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. And Davis has struggled more with the control than Ray did. But still has not walked many batters. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on a nice pitch from Davis. Again, Brookhaven now with 9 hits to Atlanta 7, but still trailing by 3. This one fouled back. Baker stays alive. It'll go Cable, Leonard, and then Drewby Pinkston. unless there are any more changes for Brookhaven. Two on the way here from Kamani Davis. Off the end of the bat, Chase Jackson chases it, gets it on one hop, and will flip to third, and they're going to get a double play out of this. It was a light ground ball to Chase Jackson at short. He played it on one hop. And they're able to get both the out at third and the out at second. No infield fly called by the umpire. And Chase Jackson takes advantage, makes the smart play to third, and then gets the out at second. So it'll go 6-5-4 on the putout, and Atlanta picks up 2 outs. That's a huge defensive play for Davis and the Blues. So the runner at first is Baker. And here's Joe Cable. That'll go down in the books as a fielder's choice. Chase Jackson, the one making the play. And how about that? And Davis delivers a fastball, doesn't get the call from the umpire, so the count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike. I mean, things have just really been going in Atlanta's favor. They've turned a couple of double plays tonight. That one not as orthodox as the one they turned back in the third. And now here comes the 2-2 from Davis to Cable. Runner at first is Holden Baker. Check to swing. Did he go? They will say no, and the count will go full. Leonard on deck, and then it would be Pinkston. But Davis trying to finish this frame right here. And this one down in the dirt. Moving up to second is Baker, and Cable reaches with a walk. That's the second base runner allowed via the walk in this inning by Davis. And now here comes Braden Leonard. So a fresh count here for Leonard. Davis looks at the lead runner, and that's Baker standing at second. Cable able to work the walk, so he's aboard at first. Of course, no Tyler Bayer on the base paths. One of the men put out on that 6-5-4 double play. Now this one fouled away, no balls and 2 strikes. Again, still a close game. All Brookhaven really needs is one big hit, and there'll be 1 run away. Here comes the 0-2. Another one fouled away as Leonard stays alive. Still an 0-2 count, and still 2 men out. Of course, the Blues benefited from that double play. And now here comes the 0-2 from Davis to Leonard. Keelan Sloan in the game behind the plate, by the way, for Atlanta. And a curveball that slips out of the fingers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. If Leonard could work his way on, that would mean the tying run would be aboard for Brookhaven. This one down in the dirt. Both men will move up 90 feet. So that means Cable to second. And that would push Williams to third. No, Baker. Baker, excuse me. So Baker will be the one to move up to third as he reached on that fielder's choice. So Cable at second, Baker at third, and here's the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball, gloved by Davis. He'll take his time, turn and throw to first. Taylor puts his foot on the bag, and that's the third out. We go to the top half of the ninth. It's 6-3 Atlanta. So Kajavi back out here for another inning of work. And again, they've been able to rely on him ever since entering in the fourth, and he's been perfect since then. No base runners allowed by Kajavi, and the Blues have been completely silent since the third inning. Anyway, to start things out here, we're going to get a pinch hitter for Atlanta. And it's going to be Paul Green stepping up to the plate. Been in there defensively since the sixth, but now comes up for his first plate appearance. And he fouls off the first pitch. 0-1 will be the count from Kajavi here to Paul Green. Paul Green comes in here hitting 200 on the season. 2 hits in his 10 at-bats so far, so still trying to get things going. Offensively is Paul Green. And it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-handed hitting outfielder. Swing and a miss. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count here to Paul Green. And he misses just outside. Placed another nice one on the outside corner. Again, Kajavi, since entering in the fourth, has picked up 4 strikeouts, looking for his 5th here against Paul Green. 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Dirty work on the changeup. Gets the fan, gets the strikeout, and that's out number 1. 5th strikeout for Kajavi. Now it's going to be Travis Stroud. I believe Stroud is the right fielder currently for the Blues. Stroud came in the game defensively in right field for Atlanta. But now finally getting his first plate appearance. No balls and 1 strike to count to Travis Stroud. That one called for strike 2 on the outside corner, so quickly Kajabi ahead looking for that 6th punch out. Trying to keep things right where they're at and give Brookhaven a chance in the bottom of the 9th. Here's one on the ground, and that's going to be the first hit of the game allowed by Kajabi, and the first hit for the Blues since the 3rd frame. It's a single off the bat of Travis Stroud. So that's the 2nd hit of the season for Stroud, and only his 5th at bat. So that'll put his batting average up to about 400. Again, small sample size, but still. Nice little start for Travis Stroud. 2 hits in his first 5 at bats of the season. And now here's Christopher Gazaldo. Gazaldo so far in the game, 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the 1st and flew out in the 6th. And now the 2-0 pitch, or 1-0 pitch, excuse me, gets away from the catcher. So now it'll be 2-0 to Gazaldo, and the runner moves up to 2nd. That's Travis Stroud. Again, entered in right field for Atlanta, and now stays up as the runner at 2nd base. Now Kajabi working from the stretch for the first time tonight. Here's a line drive out into right center field, and that's going to get down, a base hit for Gazaldo. Rounding 3rd and coming in to score is Travis Stroud. Here's the relay. That play turning out to be a lot closer than I thought it would be. Jackson Ugla made a nice relay throw into the catcher, and that's Gant manning home plate for Brookhaven, but the run comes across to score, and it's an RBI single for Gazaldo. So Gazaldo with his first hit of the game, now 1 for 3. Here's Eric Rodriguez. Takes the first pitch for a strike. So the Blues now with a 4-run lead, and they finally have put runs on the board. They scored 4 in the opening frame, then 2 in the 3rd, and now 1 coming in the 9th. So Rodriguez is definitely hitting in his spot as he came in at 3rd base for Boynes. Eric Rodriguez entered defensively in the last inning and now comes up to hit. But it looks like Joel Chrysler isn't quite sure about it. So Rodriguez will bat. The Bucks trailing 7-3 here in the top half of the 9th inning. The Blues have already scored 1 in the frame. They've also evened things out in the hit column with 2 knocks in this frame. 9 hits apiece for both Atlanta and Brookhaven. Swing and a miss. Another beautiful pitch from Kajabi. Again, Kajabi had been perfect up until this point. Now back-to-back hits as he tries Gazaldo at first. In a 7-3 Atlanta lead. Here comes the 0-2 from Kajabi to Rodriguez. Rounds 1 foul. The bat will continue. In Rodriguez coming in for Peyton Chase Boynes, who went 0 for 3. And we've got Keelan Sloan in the on-deck circle. Kajabi hoping for a ground ball. 0-2 misses. It'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Kajabi has yet to walk a batter. Here's one line drive, or a shallow pop-up into center field, and that'll be handled by the center fielder. That's Drewby Pinkston out there in center field still for Brookhaven. And here's the catcher, Keelan Sloan, for his first at-bat. Kajabi still from the stretch with the runner at first base, Gazaldo. And drops in an off-speed pitch. Strike one called. Keelan Sloan so far on his season. 2 hits in his first 5 at-bats. Couple of RBI as well for the catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike here from Kajabi to Keelan Sloan. One and one here on the way. And this one going to be fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In with 2 men out. Brookhaven down to their final 3 outs, and they'll come up in the bottom of the 9th. Preferably with a 7-3 score and a 4-run deficit to overcome. Here's one grounded to third. That'll be played on 1 hop, and a nice grab by Williams. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. Nice play by Williams, and we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. It's a 7-3 Atlanta lead. Another defensive change announced. Looks like it's going to be number 5, Julian Greer, entering the game in right field, taking over for Travis Stroud. So Greer comes in the game for the Blues defensively here in the bottom of the 9th, and as we know, the Bucks down to their final 3 outs. And it's going to be Drewby Pinkston to lead things off here. Pinkston so far in the game, 0 for 2. Steps up here in the 8th. And 3 runs on 9 hits in the contest for Brookhaven. 7 runs on 9 hits for Atlanta. And of course, Kamani Davis comes out here for another inning of work, and he'll try to pitch through the end of this contest. And a 1-2 count here to Pinkston. Blues looking to come out here with win number 2 on their season. Send the Bucks home with an 0-7 record to start. And again, they've been a part of some pretty close contests. Bucks dropped their first one against the Aviators, 7-4.
This one might be 0-7. They might be 0-6. I don't actually.
Then lost 5-3, and then went out to play Chocolaco, lost 9-8 and 8-3.
All right, so
And now here's one away as Davis strikes out.
for the Blues. That one right field. Number 5, Julian Freer. This is a change too, isn't it? 36, yes.
Now we're going to get a pinch hitter in here for Brookhaven. Bill Gant, the catcher, actually came in defensively an inning ago and now steps up to the plate for the first time.
Forgot about that. Now batting for the Bucks, the catcher, Bill Gant.
And a strike called on the outside corner.
It's Gant on the walk.
And now it'll be an 0-2 count as he checked his swing, tried to hold up but was unable to.
Left side is Gant. That's what I went with.
So Gant down 0-2. As Davis prepares to deliver the 0-2 pitch. One away here in the frame and a 7-3 Blues lead. This one going to be grounded back to the mound. Chasing is the second baseman. He flips it over to first just in time to get the out. Beautiful play by DJ Butler. Fans aren't so sure about it here at Oglethorpe. And that's going to be out number 2. Now the final hope for Brookhaven is going to be the second baseman, Jackson Ugla. Jackson Ugla from Powder Springs, Georgia. Comes up here with 2 away and the game on the line. Ugla so far 1 for 3 on the night, singled back in the 5th frame. That was his last time on base. And now here comes the 0-1. Drops it in, called strike 2 on the outside corner. 0-2 and 2 away as Brookhaven's down to their final strike. Foul back, right in our direction. Ugla trying to make the most of this at-bat, what could be the final at-bat of this ball game. Davis gets the sign, and here it comes. And another one fouled off. 0-2 count, but we've seen 5 pitches so far in this at-bat. Davis trying to shut the door. 4-run lead for Atlanta. And here it comes. It's a line drive, and it's a base hit to left field. So Jackson Ugla will give Caden Long a chance, as it's a single to keep this thing going.
Now batting for the Bucks, the left fielder, Caden Long.
And now Caden Long with one last opportunity. So far 0 for 4. Did reach on the error back in inning number 7 and now has a chance here in the bottom of the 9th. Takes a strike on the outside corner. So Davis is going to have to throw a few more pitches here. Again, entered to begin the 6th inning for Atlanta today. Gave up 2 in that frame, but has pitched well since.
Did Ray go 5? Yeah.
1-1 on the way here from Kamani Davis. This one catches the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes, and once again, Brookhaven down to their final strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here to Caden Long. Here it comes. Misses outside. The left fielder, Caden Long, struck out in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, flew out in the 5th. Reached on an error in the 7th, and now pokes one foul to keep his 9th inning at bat alive. In this game, so far having gone 2 hours and 45 minutes. So neither short nor long here tonight at Oglethorpe. And strike three called. Drops in the curveball, and Davis gets it done. Picks up the save. It'll be Javon Ray picking up the win for Atlanta as Atlanta goes home with their second win of the season. It's a 7-3 final score and a road victory for the Blues before they go home tomorrow night. Again, be sure to catch us on Sidearm tomorrow night as the Blues will once again face off against the Bucks. They take home their second win of the season here and send the Bucks home 0-7. It's a 7-3 victory for Atlanta. Anyway, once again, I'm Jacob Seaver signing off here from Brookhaven.